Hi and welcome to Best in Tesla News episode 307. Yes, still working on getting the old channel back, but in the meantime I will continue everything here on this smaller channel and your support is much appreciated. But this week we see the downfall of the legacy automakers continue in the US. And we had a very big win for Elon Musk, Tesla and its shareholders this week. And Waymo really got their ass kicked by Tesla. And we're seeing more and more people getting to experience just how amazing Tesla's full self-driving system is. And we have got a really big breakthrough in Europe when it comes to full self-driving. And we are seeing Tesla getting everything ready to launch Robotaxis in the US on a much bigger scale. And Starlink is executing some competitors. And Tesla China has completely sold out in China. Not a single car left in inventory. All of this and much more in today's episode. Let's dive right in.
Let's put our living stereo stylus in this groove.
So the downfall of the legacy automakers continues in the US. Last week we talked about Ford cancelling the F-150 Lightning, and this week Volkswagen is joining the party. Volkswagen has announced that it is cancelling its all-electric ID.Buzz in the US after just 1 year on the market. As they said, following a careful assessment of current EV market condition, we made the strategic decision not to move forward with the model year 2026 ID.Buzz production for the US market. The ID.Buzz starts at $60,000 with 234 miles of range with their 91 kilowatt-hour battery. So yes, very expensive to buy, expensive to drive, and expensive to fill up. Not the biggest surprise that it didn't sell well with that price tag. And funny how Volkswagen is just generalizing like everyone else that EVs don't sell well right now. And still, one of the best-selling car models in the US even is still an all-electric car model called the Tesla Model Y. We will see how it does this year, but it is actually still in the top 10 list of best-selling car models in the US. And just a little fun fact, because as you probably know, we hear all the time that nobody wants to buy Teslas anymore, right? Well, in the first 3 quarters of 2025, Tesla's Model Y, so just the Model Y, has sold more units globally than the entire Volkswagen Group have sold of BEVs. Tesla's Model Y sold just above 765,000 units from Q1 through Q3, and Volkswagen Group sold about 720,000 units. Volkswagen can't even beat Tesla's single best-selling model, and they said they would beat Tesla by 2018. Remember that? Well, let's just see them beat the Model Y first. So yes, BEVs will no doubt take a hit because of the ending of the EV tax credit, but the EV adoption will continue, just like we saw in the UK, down after EV incentive ended, but up again a year later. And the same thing is happening in Germany. EV sales went down in 2024, and we had a lot of EV critics saying, look, EVs are going away. And now we see that Germany's EV sales are back growing again, not just beating 2024 numbers, but going for an all-time high. So sure, they can all blame it on the EV demand that's not there, and because of the EV tax credit that just ended. But it sounds more like an excuse to stop making some of all those EVs that are costing them billions of dollars in losses. You don't see Tesla coming out cancelling any of their EV models. And we had a big win for Elon Musk, Tesla and its shareholders this week. The Delaware Supreme Court has restored Elon Musk's 2018 pay package. You probably all remember that George McCormick started the whole case with this sentence: "Was the richest person in the world overpaid?" Well, no, he wasn't, but it was pretty clear with this statement that what this was all about and McCormick's extreme bias. As Dylan Loomis from Electrified also wrote, to the activist Kathleen McCormick, you were wrong to do what you did, and now the entire world knows. I hope it was worth ruining your legacy and causing a mass corporate exodus from Delaware thanks to your lack of judgment and personal bias. Thankfully, in the end, justice was served. Not thanks to you. Don't mess with Elon Musk, Tesla, or the retail shareholders. Yes, she has really hurt her own legacy, but also Delaware. Over 43 companies has already left Delaware since Elon's case. Here is just a list of 41 of these companies that have left the state. So even though this is a big win for Tesla and its shareholders, this case does not make it so that this cannot happen again in the future, unfortunately, that a judge can overrule the shareholder vote. So as long as this is not the case, we will probably see more companies fleeing than opening shop in Delaware, all thanks to Kathleen McCormick. But a big win for Elon Musk, Tesla and his shareholders, and a big shout out to Tesla Boomer Mama for all the work she has done for this case and bringing the awareness to all of Tesla shareholders. So a big thanks to Alexandra for all the hard work she has done. Time to opening that bottle of champagne, not just to celebrate the new year that we are heading into, that could become an absolutely explosive cocktail for Tesla, with everything being set up for Tesla to hit it out of the park in 2026 with full self-driving supervised in Europe, unsupervised robotaxis in the US, starting volume production of the Tesla Semi, the Cybercab and Optimus, and probably even start production of the Tesla Roadster. It's going to be one hell of a year, but let's also make a toast for Tesla shareholders winning this case against the activist Kathleen McCormick and getting restored Elon Musk 2018 pay package that we did vote yes for twice. So Waymo really got their ass kicked by Tesla this week. So the recent power outage in San Francisco exposed a major weakness in Waymo's system. Their fully autonomous vehicles froze on dark intersections, blocking lanes and causing widespread traffic chaos, eventually forcing Waymo to suspend service entirely. Like observers like No Safe Word has pointed out for months with repeated videos, Waymos constantly stall on non-functional traffic lights, piling up until entire intersections are gridlocked. It's a recurring issue they've known about for years, yet no real fix in sight. This incident is a nightmare for the expansion plans into dozens of new cities. It starkly highlights that Waymo's vehicles aren't truly independent. They rely heavily on remote supervision and infrastructure, turning into roadside bricks without it. Meanwhile, Tesla's Robotaxi service and full self-driving equipped cars sail through unaffected, as Elon also noted on X. Tesla's Robotaxis were unaffected by San Francisco's power outage. And Yunta from Tesla also wrote on X, self-resilience, to Tesla's own post that said full self-driving is trained on billions of real-world mileage, including power outage. Tesla's robotaxis were completely unscathed. Tesla's AI training on billions of real-world mileage handled dead lights intelligently, just like a competent human would, treating them as a four-way stop. Videos like this one showing full self-driving supervised navigating these intersections flawlessly. And even Gary had to admit Tesla kicked Waymo's ass this weekend in San Francisco. Yes, indeed. And the contrast is clear. Tesla's vision-based end-to-end AI delivers real resilience, while Waymo's approach crumble under basic real-world disruptions. Remember Jerry's comment about turn off all lights, vision camera fails, LiDAR keeps on working. Yeah, about that, Jerry, we just got a real-world test of that, and a whole city turned off its light, and Waymo's LiDAR vehicle stopped working, but Tesla's AI camera vision continued to work. Aged like a glass of milk in the sun, Jerry. But we did also start to see Tesla's robotaxis being driven around unsupervised, as Phil from Tesla shared a video of him in the back seat while the car was driving him unsupervised around Austin. So to Waymo's ex-CEO that said, "Please let me know when Tesla launches a Robotaxi. I'm still waiting. It's not a Robotaxi if there is an employee inside the car." Well, John, just letting you know, Tesla now have cars driving unsupervised. This is, of course, just testing, but the test will soon be done, and Tesla will start deploying unsupervised robotaxis to the fleet, and that will change everything. And it seems like Tesla is getting ready for exactly that, as Sawyer wrote. Tesla has registered 1,655 vehicles for its ride-hailing service in California. A spokesperson from the California Public Utility Commission said the company has registered 794 drivers. That's up from 21 cars and 128 drivers in August. The vehicle's numbers reflect cars that have been approved for use, not the actual operational fleet number. The spokesperson also said that Tesla isn't required to update the stats as it adds new drivers, which means the current number could be higher. But this also means that Tesla has more cars approved and ready to be deployed as soon as Tesla is done with their unsupervised testing than Waymo have available in Austin. Waymo only has about 200 vehicles in operation in Austin as of November 2025, so Tesla seems to get ready to deploy about 5 to 8 times the amount when they feel that unsupervised software is ready to go live. And that will be devastating for Waymo. And Tesla also released a whole new video about Tesla's Robotaxi service. Tesla is also leaning hard into accessibility, touting support for service animals, space for some vehicle chairs, and assistive devices, and app availability in 29 languages, a direct answer to critics who claims autonomy leaves people behind. Tesla is definitely gearing up for something special. And Elon also shared him testing out full self-driving unsupervised in Austin, as he wrote, "At Tesla with no safety monitor in the car and me sitting in the passenger seat took me all around Austin on Sunday with perfect driving." So I also think it's a good sign that Elon himself is now testing the unsupervised system, because that probably means we are getting very close to getting this released to the public, as we could also see as Hawk being out testing it, and as he wrote, "It's an amazing experience," and shared a video of him sitting in the back seat while no one in the front seats of the car. And on top of all of this, Jeff Lutz also shared that Teslas seem to already be able to do fleet learning in real time, as he wrote, "Okay, this is wild. I navigated to a location on Full Self-Driving version 14.2.1.25 that had 3 parking lots. My car started parked in the furthest parking lot, and me, lazy, asked Croc, why are we parking all the way over here? Croc responded, this is the best available parking for the location, and I said, no way, there's closer parking, let's go look at them. I asked Croc, why do you think you found the closest available parking? And Croc responded that Tesla has advanced sensors, very recent mapping of the parking lot, and real-time data to inform it. I wish I recorded it. I asked, what do you mean? Are other Teslas providing data, so fleet communication, to inform your decision? And Croc answered yes in an affirmative. Sure enough, I cruised through the 2 closed lots. There were multiple Teslas in spots, and there were no open spots. I thought this was going to be a 14.3 feature. Totally blown away. Maybe Croc was BSing me. Try it yourself. Tesla is just 10 steps ahead of everyone else with their software, both the one that is driving the car, helping the car to understand the world around it, and the interface of how we communicate with the car. And all of this is just learning that Tesla will get right now, to then implement it all into the Cybercab when it starts production in April next year, only about 4 months from now. And we are seeing more and more people getting to experience just how amazing Tesla's full self-driving system is, but not only as a robotaxi, but also just full self-driving supervised. As Jim Fan wrote from NVIDIA, I was very late to own a Tesla, but among the earliest to try out full self-driving version 14. It's perhaps the first time I experienced an AI that passed the physical Turing test. After a long day of work, you press a button, lay back, and can't tell if a neural link or a human drove you home. Despite knowing exactly how robot learning works, I still find it magical watching the steering wheel turn by itself. First it feels surreal, next it becomes routine. Then, like the smartphone, taking it away actually hurts. This is how humanity gets rewired and glued to godlike technologies. Yes, and Elon reposted and wrote, "You can sense the sentient maturing." And Paul also wrote, "Just imagine, in 5 years." And Elon replied, "It will be 100 times safer than human-driven." Yes, the system that is now so good that it can actually drive unsupervised in the US and is driving flawlessly around as a supervised system, just blowing people's minds, is as bad as it will ever be. It will only become better and better as time ticks by, and get better faster as Tesla will only get more and more people testing it out and subscribing to the software. And as we also saw in South Korea, as Tesla shared, over 1 million kilometers has been driven on full self-driving supervised by our owners in Korea within a single month since launch. But what Tesla fails to mention here is that this were achieved with only Model S and X vehicles, and about 98% of sales in Korea are the Model 3 and Y. It is a remarkable achievement, and these numbers will only explode when Tesla makes an over-the-air update and the Model 3 and Y owners get access to this software as well. And that will help Tesla software to become even better. And Dave, that had his Tesla driving him around for over 5,000 miles with 100% of those miles being driven by the car, just had a little update as he wrote. "My road trip started on October 28th and took me all around the great nation for a whopping 14,169 miles total. And now just concluding making it home in time for Christmas back in Tacoma, Washington. The full self-driving true 100% streak still continues, with it now up to 6,550 miles, still shooting to break 10,000 before the end of the year. The system has become insanely good. And I also got my first test drive of Tesla's full self-driving supervised here in Denmark, and that was really fun, and we had some really cool and fun things happening on the way, but I will show you all of that in another video later. But I just want to say that the interest for this software is off the chart. Tesla is making test drive here in Denmark every hour, so about 8 a day for 7 days a week, and they already have sold out through March. The interest is very, very high, and this is happening all over Europe, and we are seeing more and more people trying it out in the US, China, Australia, and so on. And every single test drive Tesla does also trains the system to become better. And we are seeing critics admitting that the system is magical. And now we have even had the second biggest podcast in the world, The Diary of a CEO, where Steve had this to say.
Well, my car outside drives itself on the driveway, which is crazy. I always say this, but I don't think people anywhere outside of the United States realize that cars in the United States drive themselves without me touching the steering wheel or the pedals at any point in a 3-hour journey. Because in the UK, it's not legal yet to have like Teslas on the road. But that's a paradigm shifting moment where you come to the US, you sit in a Tesla, you say, I want to go 2.5 hours away, and you never touch the steering wheel or the pedals. And that is science fiction. I do, when all my team fly out here, it's the first thing I do. I put them in the front seat if they have a driving license. And I say, I press the button and I go, don't touch anything. And you see it in their, you see like the panic, and then you see, a couple of minutes in there, they've very quickly adapted to the new normal, and it's no longer blowing their mind.
Yes, full self-driving is going mainstream, and people are not ready for what is about to come. But we're not done with all the great full self-driving news for this week, as we also had a breakthrough in Germany, of all places. But we did see Europe's first government-supported Tesla full self-driving supervised shuttle service in Germany's Pittsburgh-Prüm district, launched on December the 24th, 2025 to boost rural mobility by supplementing local buses. The pilot project was openly accompanied by the Minister of Economic Affairs and Transport plus local officials. So even though this is not a robotaxi but just full self-driving supervised, this is a big step in the right direction and a good showcase that the regulators are waking up to how much safer driving with full self-driving supervised is than not having a system like that in the cars. As Alex also wrote, the test drives supervised by Full Self-Driving in Europe have now led to a positive recognition by transport ministers and municipalities that the system represents added value for citizens, and that is a big win. Authorities are now understanding that autonomous driving with Full Self-Driving supervised is safe and should be supported. So seeing projects like this in Germany makes me very optimistic that we will see full self-driving supervised on European roads when they are hopefully approved in the Netherlands in February. So while Tesla is seeing some real progress here in Europe for full self-driving supervised, we are also seeing them continue to crush it in the US, as Jordan also wrote here. Tesla's full self-driving version 14.2.2 is art. I can confidently say that full self-driving is safer and more comfortable than most human drivers in New York City. Lane changes are decisive and the system feels like magic. Enjoy this flawless Manhattan time-lapse from the West Village to Midtown East. And Tesla reposted his post and wrote, Tesla on full self-driving supervised drive itself through Manhattan. Any Tesla you can buy today can do this. Yes, when you have a car that can drive you around and you can talk to it and tell it where you want to go, every other car on the road will feel like this. As Tech Geek Tesla shared on X, every other car will feel like a horse carriage. Yes, and just a little reminder from Zach, just a reminder that a 7-year-old Tesla can drive itself better than any other car you can buy on the market except for a new Tesla. Hardware 3 is underappreciated. Yes, Tesla's cars were so far ahead all the way back in 2018 that the others have nothing that can actually compete today. Crazy. And I squeeze in the last short news topics into this news show. Yes, it's time for the Tesla Shorts. Tesla is still breaking records in Norway, as we know, but now Tesla also reported on it themselves on X. More Tesla Model Y has been registered in Norway in 2025 than have ever been registered by one brand with all models combined. Still breaking records in Norway. Tusen takk, Norway again. So thank you very much, Norway, again. So exactly what we saw happening in Denmark last year, where Tesla's Model Y became the best-selling model in history in Denmark. Well, that is now also happening in Norway, while mainstream media is busy screaming nobody wants Teslas anymore. And we also saw Elon in Dubai, so we might have a full self-driving supervised coming to Dubai soon, or maybe even robotaxis. And Tesla Chan shared some more sad news for Porsche. Porsche will phase out about 200 charging networks it has built in China starting in March 2026. They've lost power to electric vehicles transition and they don't seem willing. Yes, so the whole country of China, the biggest car market on the planet, is going electric and Porsche is phasing out its already built charging infrastructure. Porsche seems to be ready to throw in the towels in China, completely leaving the market. Can't be long before we get an announcement that Porsche is leaving China. And Michael Dawn shared this post. BYD Europe sales 255% higher in November. Damn. Top 5 European markets: UK, Germany, Italy, Spain, France. Question: can the German sales be up this much this fast? Good question, but no matter what, the growth here is absolutely insane. And do you remember all the headlines about how BYD sold more cars in Europe back in October? Well, about that, AJ also shared this. Now Tesla outsold BYD in Europe in November, even though BYD is up 255%. Tesla sold over 22,800 vehicles and BYD 21,100 vehicles. I predict that Tesla will also, by a wide margin, outsell BYD in December. That's an easy prediction for everyone who understands Tesla's delivery models. Yes, exactly, and let's see if any mainstream media will make headlines about this, as they did when it was the other way around, but I doubt it. And Tesla has made another thing ready for their unsupervised robotaxi service launch, as Sawyer reported. Tesla has introduced cleaning fees for the robotaxis. $50 charged for moderate messes, such as food spills, significant dirt or minor stains, and $150 charged for severe messes, such as bio-waste or smoking in the vehicle. As Tesla said, we prioritize maintaining a clean and comfortable environment for all riders and promoting responsible rider behavior. To address incident where vehicles require additional cleaning after a trip, we will assess the type and the severity of the mess and apply the appropriate fee. Once a fee is assessed, you will receive an email notifying you that additional cleaning was required for the vehicle after your trip. An updated ride receipt will also be available under the ride history section of the Robotaxi app. If you believe a charge was made in error, call the customer support team and follow the prompts for option 7. And SpaceX continues to execute, and even seems like Starlink is executing other competitors, as we could see in this article. HughesNet to refer existing users to Starlink after SpaceX EchoStar deal. So a competitor simply giving up, as they have no chance to compete against Starlink. And like Joe Tagmeyer also wrote, now comes the growing chorus of "it's not fair" from the same group that used to say "it's not possible." Yes, probably. And we did also see that Rogers officially launched Starlink satellite service for smartphones across Canada. Starlink is just exploding at the moment. When it went from 8 to 9 million users, that was very fast. It actually added a new customer to Starlink every 4 seconds. And it will only continue, as Starlink also wrote themselves. In partnership with Outsells Africa, Starlink Direct to Call will connect more than 170 million people in Africa across 14 countries, powering life-saving connectivity when it's needed most. This marks the 6th continent that the satellite-to-mobile service and expand our mission to end mobile dead zones. The service will begin by delivering data that enables voice, video, and messaging, and will advance to provide high-speed broadband service to smartphone with 20x improved data speed. Nice. And even though we have people and investors waking up to Tesla's full self-driving software, they are still not getting the scale that Tesla will be able to do, as Sawyer shared. Morgan Stanley in New Tesla note, we expect Tesla to increase its robotaxi fleet size to 1,000 vehicles on the road in 2026. By the end of 2035, we expect Tesla to have 1 million robotaxis on the road across multiple cities. It's gonna be a hell a lot more than that, lol. And Elon replied and wrote, yeah. Because, 1,000 in 2026, that is less than the amount that Tesla has already got approval for. So going into 2026, Tesla has the amount of vehicles ready to deploy that Morgan Stanley thinks will be the only vehicles that will be deployed in 2026. So they don't expect Tesla to do anything in 2026 really, other than deploying those cars in California. That only shows us how little Morgan Stanley actually understand Tesla. And 1 million 2035, that is going to be a big miss as well. Let's check back to this prediction when Tesla actually hit its first million robotaxis on the street. And Tesla has launched a new safety page on their website that has an overview of how your Tesla protects everyone, occupants, other road users, and wildlife alike. And they also wrote online, our global fleet of 8.6 million vehicles is actively generating anonymous data from real-world driving scenarios, experience more in 1 minute than a person can experience in one lifetime. We turn these learnings into safety improvements and share them with all Tesla vehicles through free over-the-air software updates. Nice to see Tesla trying to get out to more people that not buying a Tesla is going to be a compromise on safety for you and your loved ones. And this should be the number one priority of any family buying a new car. And let's not forget about Elon's new company, as Mark wrote. In 2026, we are going to hear a lot more about Microheart, the new endeavor by Elon Musk. Microheart is xAI's project to build a fully AI-run software company powered by Croc multi-agent system that automate coding, development, and operations. It is direct developed by xAI with active trademark, hiring, and integration with the colossal supercomputer. In 2026, major demos of AI agents build real software, likely product launches, and progress towards autonomous AI enterprise tools. And Elon replied, Microheart will be stiff competition. Yes, and he also wrote that xAI will have more AI compute than everyone else combined in less than 5 years. This is one hell of a race. And Mario posted on X, Cybertruck hits South Korea and people go crazy. The Tesla Cybertruck has officially landed in South Korea and people are loving it. Crowds gathered, cameras out, everywhere it goes the reaction is the same. Very cool. The truck's futuristic design might still turn heads in the US, but in Korea it turns necks. Tesla's global appeal isn't slowing down, and the Cybertruck is proving it can win over any street, any crowd, on any continent. And when it comes to the demand in China that we have heard from so many mainstream media outlets that is collapsing throughout the year, well, as Ming reported, inventory cleared out in China for 2025. With only a week left in 2025, Tesla has effectively wiped out its inventory for the year. The entire Model Y lineup sold out ages ago. Even the showroom models and test drive units are gone. As for the Model 3, there is essentially nothing left across the entire stock, including display and demo cars. Only one vehicle remains, the long-range all-wheel drive. He also shared this video and wrote, Tesla China is absolutely killing it. This isn't a wet market, it's a delivery center on a normal weekday. Looking at the crowd, you would think everything was half off. Totally exaggerated. And on top of this, Tesla China's November production numbers is the highest of the year, so the monthly production. So let's see if Tesla can get some more Teslas out to fill up the inventory again before the end of the year, or we might get a very nice start to 2026 and probably huge numbers of export out of China. And before we end off with a bit of fun, I just want to make a quick shout out to some of my new supporters of this channel, because I have seen so much support for me in this difficult time when my main channel has been hacked. So I can't thank everyone in one video because that would add another half an hour to this video. So thank you so much for the support, but let's just give a shout out to the first few here. My new Patreon producers: David Briggs, Charles Walden, Joseph Hamstead, Brad, Kim Pauline Mortensen, DB Welder, Richard ETFM, Jürgen Wartman, and Kevin Smith. Thank you for all your support. I couldn't really do this without you guys. Thank you, and a lot more to come. And let's end off with a bit of fun. The Xiaomi SU7 might be selling extremely well, but its software is not quite up there with Tesla's. Yeah, Tesla just makes it look easy, but it's not. This is all we have time for in this news show. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. It really does help this video out a lot, so others can find it on YouTube, because this is on the small channel, so don't got the big reach that I got before. And if you did like it, maybe you want to consider hitting that subscribe button, notification bell, so you don't miss out on future videos just like this one. And if you're already a subscriber to the channel, thank you so much for the support. But if you want to support the channel even more, remember you can, for as little as $1, become a patron of this channel to get a shout out, add some extra perks like early access, ad-free versions of my videos, exclusive videos. Check out Patreon to find out more. And don't forget to follow me on X. I post pretty much all the news as it comes out and a lot more. And check out the merch store to get some merchandise and support the show. It is also possible to support the show without becoming a member or a patron. There is a donation option down below or on my website BestInTESLA.com. You can also become an executive producer and get news articles, exclusive videos, behind the scenes, and access to all my research charts and spreadsheets also on BestInTESLA.com. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.